Happy birthday, Maximilian. Happy birthday. Okay, you guys, so thanks for joining me on another video. Today, I'm going to be doing a tour of what's in flower in the garden, which there's quite a lot in flower in the garden at the moment, and it's looking pretty special. And I'm sure you'll all agree when you see it. We celebrated this week 3 birthdays together. We celebrated a 40th, which was Carmelo's, an 11th, which was Scooter's, and mine, which I won't tell you what age I am. You can guess. Count the wrinkles. So we had a little party in the garden, and we had some lovely food, and we had 3 delicious cakes, and one of which I'm going to be making for you in this video, and it is a cake done in the style of a Bakewell tart. So a Cherry Bakewell cake is what I'm going to be making for you. Now, to make that cake, I've just paid a visit to my friend Carol, and I got 18 beautiful free-range eggs. I'm walking across the lawn, going to the kitchen to put them inside, when the handle on my egg basket came away and the eggs ended up on the ground. I will show you that in a minute. Disaster strikes yet again for Nikolai. I'm trying to keep Scooter away from them because he'll attack them and start eating them once we get round. So let's start here in the courtyard. So we've got our lovely window boxes, which are in full flower at the moment. We've had really, really dry, hot weather in Ireland, very unusual. If you turn around, Camilla, look at the little robin on the table. Oh, he's just flown away. He's cheeky. He's just come to the table. Anyhow, so we've had quite dry, hot weather. So at the moment, we are really struggling to keep things watered. We've had no rain, which is extremely unusual for Ireland. As I want to show you this beautiful gladioli in the most amazing colour. And I can see one of them is on the ground. Let's pick that one up and tuck it in behind these. Absolutely stunning. So I bought some gladiolis, I bought quite a few actually, thinking that I'm going to keep them in pots because every year I lose them in the ground. And turns out that this is the only gladioli out of the ones that the guy in the shop thought they were all gladiolis. Some of them are a different type of crocosmia. I won't know yet because they haven't flowered, they're about to. The lovely banana plant with all its babies around the outside, which this year I have to get out of this container and split and divide them. Again, my beautiful tree rhododendron, my baby, which is coming back after its massacre that time. I won't mention any names as to who done it, but anyway, it's coming back. Then we've got our Roseanne, which is in full flower, and this Cornus Cusa is beautiful with the star. It's quite a big flower on this one. It's just going over. The other one, the Anthony Boulevant furry leaf hydrangea is in full flower at the moment. And I just want to show you this. This is, yes, so you see, they're not gladioli, they are actually Lucifer crocosmia, which I really don't want here, so I'll have to move it. In the pond here, I have planted a loosestrife, which is a native weed of Ireland, but I think it's a very pretty one, and the bees absolutely love it. And if you keep it in a container, oh, look at the dragonfly. Oh, wow. Can you see it, Camilla, the dragonfly on the top leaf? Okay, so the bees love it, and obviously the dragonflies love it. So this is a weed, but a very beautiful one, and so I'll keep it in the pot and keep it contained. Here we have the lovely verbascums, which are all just going over, and they really were an amazing display of spikes of white and pink flowers this year. This geranium is a favourite of mine, and this is the Anne Thompson, and I just love the striking pink. It's really, really beautiful. Again, another furry leaf hydrangea. Oh no, actually, this is called hot chocolate, this hydrangea. Yes, from the dark stem. So it's got the most beautiful rose pink flower coming on it. The inula is in full flower at the moment. Oh, and this is the Veronica. And again, the bees love it. It's got the most beautiful flower. Ligularia Desdemona has flowered, lovely yellow flowers. The beautiful, magnificent tree hydrangea here is doing exceptionally well. It just loves this position, and the flower of the Rogersia is looking really good as well. Lovely big leaf plant. I can't see Scooter, so I'm worried that he's found the eggs round the front. So I think we'll go straight to the eggs and we'll... Oh no, he's there, lying on his cool mat. He's still recovering from his celebrations. Here we have a beautiful pink mop-head hydrangea, which normally, if I remember, the flowers are much bigger than this. They don't seem to be that big this year, but I think that could be because of the drought that we're having at the moment. And then on this side, we have another mop-head hydrangea, which is the most beautiful mauve colour this year. It's not normally this colour, it's normally pink. But again, it's normally this pink. But again, it's changed. But I think everything's changed. There's dark mauve, there's light mauve, there's pink, there's dark pink, there's a bit of everything on this one. The tree lily has finished and it's gone to seed. So hopefully next year I'll have 3 really nice tree lilies, which are going to grow in the right direction, because this one went a bit wonky because of the light. Let me see what else. Here is beautiful sanguisorba, which is full of flowers at the moment, which I just love. It's got these lovely dangly pink. Come closer. Not too close. They'll count the wrinkles and find out what age I am. This is the sanguisorba. Again, another tree hydrangea and a little bit of crocosmia popping through there. All the Peruvian lilies on this side. They're kind of, again, I don't think they're coping very well with the drought, but I need to come out and deadhead them. And remember, I told you how to deadhead them last year. You literally pull the whole stem out. That's deadheading the Peruvian lily Astromeria. Echium has finished. Flowers have faded. There's still 1 or 2 bees with 1 or 2 flowers there. That now is going to die, but it's going to self-seed everywhere, and hopefully next year or the year after I'll get lots of babies. This is a new baby coming, which will be hopefully in flower next year, if it survives the frost this winter. This is another beautiful hydrangea. I can't quite remember what the name of this one is, but I love the lace cap. Okay, so that's the beautiful hydrangea. And then here we have the hydrangea limelight. This is the lime green one, and it has like pinnacle-shaped, conical-shaped flowers. The rugosa rose is flowering. The roses smell absolutely beautiful. And again, the inula is flowering in here too. And the campanulas are flowering, which are lovely. They're really, really well this year. And actually, Chris gave them the Chelsea chop, if I remember. So that was a good idea, because normally they get very tall and then they end up on the floor. Then I have to show you this beautiful clematis, and I can't quite remember the name of it. If anybody knows, please do let me know. I did have it on a little sign, but the sign is either buried in there somewhere. But it's absolutely stunning, and it's loving this weather. Gone over, but this one is still in flower, and this one again has beautiful big, and this one's quite shaded in here, so it's doing well for one that's shaded. Shall we go to the jungle? Let's enter the jungle. And in the jungle here we have the Cephalaria gigantica, which is in flower. And this has got these lovely crepe paper flowers. I just love them. And then we've got this beautiful pink persicaria. Fight your way through the jungle, Camilla. It'll recover. I love this acer tree. Would you believe I planted this acer tree about that tall, I think probably about 3-4 years ago. And look at it. It's ginormous. And it just gives that lovely dappled shade in here. And then round the pond, we have the skunk cabbage, which is doing really well. And just look at the size of the leaf on this Tetrapanax T-Rex. I just love it. This is been gifted to me by my friend Anne, who has her garden in Screen, and I thought I lost it, but I didn't, which I'm thrilled about, and it's coming a lovely shape as well. This is my cannula, which is in a pot because I have to bring this in. This I bought from a garden centre here in Sligo, who the guy who owns the garden centre is retiring this year, and he had one from his mother many years ago in a big plastic tub, which he always looked after, and I always used to admire it. And last year he divided it and he made he created another 2 plants, which I luckily got before everybody else was demanding. He actually had a waiting list of people who wanted it if I didn't come and collect it, but I got 2 of them. Then let's have a look at the pond. The lotus flowers on the pond this year were stunning. Oh, was that a frog that just jumped in there? Anyway, I don't think you can see the lotus flower. It's tucked in the back there. There was many of them, but they're just going over. Actually, there's a couple coming still. However, and then the yellow pad lily is really beautiful. So this is the beautiful Ligularia Petroschi, and it's got the most beautiful yellow spikes of flowers, which is just going over. It was absolutely stunning a week ago. In fact, a guy who came to visit the garden, who is a very keen gardener himself, said he never saw one as good as this. Okay, this was the viburnum that I, topiaried from a big shrubby bush wild to this, and it's actually kept quite a nice shape, so I'm pleased about that. And the lovely, this is a beautiful, this is Indian Summer Astromeria Peruvian Lily. I just love the strong colour. It's probably stronger here because there's not much sunlight getting to it, so it's not faded as much. And here we have my disaster, my smashed eggs. And I'm laughing because, as they say, you should never keep all your eggs in one basket. And this is what's happened. But I have a plan. I've called Carol, I've laughed, she's laughed, I've told her the story, I've sent her a picture, and she's leaving another 12 eggs out in the porch for me because she's going out to visit her daughter. So, we'll get the eggs. Now, let me show you this hydrangea. In this, I don't know, everybody asks. One day I might be able to resolve it, but I have no idea. Here we have the most beautiful lace cap pink hydrangea. Over here, and less than 2 meters away, we have the same specimen hydrangea, which is this year completely blue. This hydrangea is normally several shades of pink and violet and lilac and all kinds, but this year it's just gone a really strong blue, and the hydrangeas this year are really not liking this dry heat, so we are watering like crazy to keep them alive. Here is the beautiful daylily, which is just going over. There's still a few flowers to come, but I just love the colour of this one. And this is one of my favourite persicarias. I just adore it. I don't know the name of this particular one, but I just love, and I love the way it spreads. And here we have, I think this is the Achillea Pearl. Very beautiful in flower displays, I must say. Now, I'm going to show you my white Annabelles and my Picante, is that what they're called? Piniculata hydrangeas. And this is their first year. I put them in last year and they were only very, very small when I put them in. And this year they've got very big. Now what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to cut them right back, so next year we get bigger flowers. But I'm also going to put something in front to support them. It probably wasn't a very clever idea of me putting them along here because this hedge needs to be trimmed regularly. And so if it goes, anyway, we'll deal with that problem. The hanging basket is looking really nice at the moment. The hydrangea here is almost blue, and this one is various different shades of pink, lilac, mauve, all sorts. A mixture of everything. Okay, you guys, so here we've got the lovely geraniums, which are in full flower, and we've also got the beautiful Japanese anemone, which absolutely loves me because wherever I put it, it flourishes and it just takes over. And you know what? I actually don't mind. I let it because it's got such a beautiful flower. Here we have another giant tree hydrangea, and Chris keeps wanting me to cut it because it's covering the window of the library. And also we have in there I see another, oh no, that's the camellia. We have our wisteria, which has got a beautiful rose growing through it, which is all finished now, but it's really, really done well this year. Okay, I don't know how, but what ended up happening here was I ended up planting this white Annabelle hydrangea. I also planted a white monkshood, and I also planted a white phlox. So I don't know why this year, but everything's flowering differently. But normally the phlox, the monkshood and the Annabelle flower at the same time. And this area here is just total white. But they're not flowering yet. The Annabelle is. This is a lovely purple Astromeria Peruvian lily. And again, the Indian summer. And my tree ferns are coming along beautifully. I think maybe another 2 years they should really get going and fan out. I hope that I don't lose them in the meantime. So here we've got the most beautiful purple hydrangea. It's absolutely stunning. When I bought this, it was blue. It's now turned purple. But anyway, I like it. Nonetheless, I really, really like it. You can see how dramatic the flowers are on that. Absolutely exquisite. Okay, folks. Let's go now and make this beautiful Bakewell cake. And I've got a bit of news, let me tell you. I've just been to my friend Carol to get the eggs. Yeah? Peggy has got a sister called Ruby, a beautiful King Charles Spaniel. And Scooter has taken quite a shine to Ruby. I'm not liking the sound of that, but anyway, say nothing. Let's go. And just before we go inside, sorry, I just spotted this on my way around. The most beautiful strawberry and cream hydrangea. I don't know what it's called, but anyway, I remember planting this, and it's planted in the woodland, so it's very shaded here. But it seems to like it, and it's got quite a lot of flowers on it. So I'm very excited about that one. Okay, you guys, now it's time to make that super delicious, super simple Cherry Bakewell cake. So let's run through what we're going to need. So we're going to need 2 8-inch sandwich pans, cake pans, which I have just lined with a circle greaseproof paper, a cooling rack, electric whisk, and you need to preheat your oven to 160 fan, gas mark 4, 350 Fahrenheit. Do that immediately. And then we're going to get on with telling you what's inside the ingredients. So there's very little ingredients for the actual sponges for this cake. It's 350 grams of caster sugar, 325 grams of butter at room temperature, softened butter, 250 grams of self-raising flour, and 100 grams of ground almonds, tablespoon of almond extract, or a little bit more, and 3 large eggs or 4 medium eggs. I have a little bit of a mixture there. Chickens are wired at the moment. They don't know what they're doing. They're laying some big eggs and some small eggs. Okay, so that's for the cake. Then for the icing, and also with this cake to make it super moist and to make it even more almondy, I'm going to make a stock syrup, and you should really do that as soon as the cakes go into the oven, because that needs to cool before you pour it onto the hot cakes. In a little pot, saucepan, whatever you have, I have in here 100 mils of water and 100 grams of caster sugar. Okay, I will boil that for 6 minutes until it takes on a slightly syrupy consistency. It won't be thick, it will still be very runny, but it will have thickened slightly. And into that, I'm going to pour probably about, I'd say there's probably about 50 mils left in the Disaronno. I don't know who drank it, but it wasn't me. My sister has a liking for Disaronno, and I think Carmelo also has a liking for Disaronno. Yeah, you might have to go and buy a bottle. Okay, then you will need some raspberry jam. So I have in here approximately 150 grams of raspberry jam, which I will heat in the microwave to make it a little bit more pliable and so that it absorbs slightly into the sponge. I have a couple of tablespoons of cold milk. I have a couple of teaspoons of lemon juice. I have some flaked almonds, which I toasted on the pan. I have, how much icing sugar? 200 grams of icing sugar, powdered sugar. And I have a few nice glacé cherries for on the top for decoration. So we'll do the icing next. First of all, we're going to get on with making the cake. So we're literally just going to beat together our butter and our sugar. As it happens, this cake, apart from with the garden tour, it is a friend of mine's birthday tomorrow, and he is the partner of a guy who was a workaway for me about 4 years ago, and they have been back last year on holiday for a few days, and they've come again this year on holiday for a few days. So it's his birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to make this cake for him. So just cream together your butter and sugar until it's nice and pale and fluffy. Scrape down your sides, and you know Nikolai's always a disaster with his right hand, so it's likely to anything to happen. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get an apron because I don't want to get butter all over my lovely pink t-shirt. I'll be back. Okay, so I've creamed the butter and sugar, and now I'm going to add in my eggs one at a time, mixing a little bit between each one. So let me tell you, I received 2 lovely gifts. Nikolai's so worth it. Everybody just loves me. The first gift I bought for myself, which is, I went to work one day, and one of the girls at work had a beautiful bottle, and her name was on it, and it had an orange writing, and it had an orange bottom. I said to her, "I love your bottle. Where did you get it?" She goes, "Love Island." I said, "It's a series that I've never watched, Love Island, but I liked the bottle, and so I had to go on to their website. Ta-da! I got my own bottle. But I chose the blue accessory kit, the writing in blue and the blue. I didn't fancy walking around with bright orange. It says he wearing bright pink, but anyway. Fantastic. So that's present number 1, Nikolai gifted to himself. Present number 2 was from my lovely sister-in-law, Helen, in London. And she got me this fabulous cookie print with my name, personalized with my name. And it says Nikolai's Kitchen here on the front. And so you cut out your shortbreads with the silver cutter, and then you stamp them on the top with Nikolai. And I actually made some shortbread for the open garden, and I sent her a photograph, and she was so excited, and it's just adorable. I love it. So that's the 2 gifts. Now back to the eggs before I lose concentration completely and we end up with a disaster of a cake. Egg number 3, in we go. Please don't make this cake complicated, it's very easy. How can anyone make anything complicated in this world? I have no idea. Okay, so in with the last egg. And then we're going to pop in our almond extract. So probably about 2 teaspoons, I'd say. And that goes, give that a little mix. Okay, and then we're going to add in our flour, and we're going to fold in our, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use the whisk for this. I'm going to just fold it in because I don't think we need to whisk it in. So just fold it in until you have all your flour incorporated, and then you add your 100 grams of ground almonds. Okay, and now I'm going to add to that 3 tablespoons of cold milk. And just again, just stir that in. There's no need for whisking at this stage. You want to keep as much of the air in it as possible. I also want to tell you that I got gifted something else, another gift. Chris did me a beautiful painting. I don't know if you remember back to another video where I had a carousel for Christmas. Beautiful carousel from my favourite shop in Dublin, Paddison and Newell. And then we went to, I can't remember if it was Fortnum and Mason or Liberty's. Liberties. It was Liberties. And you remember that lovely Prancer, the horse of the carousel, that he made me buy myself. Yeah, you remember that story? If not, I'll replay it. I'll get him to link it in the box below. Well, he painted one for me. Isn't that just beautiful? Look, how clever is he? Very clever to keep me on side, I would say, and keep me happy. What do you reckon, folks? Let me know. Okay, this is ready now. I need to stop waffling. He'll probably cut all of that out of the video. Sometimes I wish I was the editor. But anyway, I don't wish actually. No, thank you. Leave that for Chris. Okay, 2 sandwich pans. And because it's for a birthday cake, I'm going to be a little bit professional and I'm going to weigh the 2 cakes so they kind of look even. Otherwise you'll have one thick cake like that one. Doesn't really matter, but I'll weigh it. Okay, let's divide it now into our 2 cake pans. All over the place. You don't have to do this, folks, trust me. I'm only doing it because it's a birthday cake for somebody. Okay, that's enough. Into the oven, 40 minutes. Okay, so the syrup has been boiling for 6 minutes and it's taken on a slightly thicker consistency, and so now I'm going to add in the Disaronno. Oh my God, Carmela, there was hardly anything left. My cake will lack the Disaronno. Okay, so that's ready for pouring. Just incorporate that. Don't put the Disaronno in first, because if you do, you'll boil off the alcohol, you'll boil off the flavour. There'll be very little left. That smells wonderful. Put that to the side. Now we're going to make the simple icing. This, my friends, is the only icing that I don't need to sieve. Okay? Every other icing, remember the rules. Like I said, always sieve. Okay, into our bowl is our 250 grams of icing sugar. Isn't that correct? No, 200 grams of icing sugar. Then into that, I'm going to add some lemon juice. Okay. Just a little at a time. You can always add more, you can't take away. And then I'm also going to add a little milk. Okay, that is it, folks. And I just added a little drop more milk, and that's kind of the consistency you're looking for. The cakes are out of the oven, and they took exactly 40 minutes. And I'm now just going to very gently pour over my lovely Disaronno syrup. Nice and slowly. Once this is done, we're going to leave them in the tins to cool completely, and then we'll turn out, we'll put our jam. We'll sandwich them together with just the jam, and then we'll put our lovely Bakewell glaze over the top, and our cherries and our flaked almonds to finish off. Okay, you guys, so the cakes are completely cold. So I've heated up my raspberry jam in the microwave just for about a minute or so. And I'm going to just dribble it on there. Be generous with the jam because it's the only filling you have for this cake. Because that all adds to the look of the cake. Okay, jam aside. Now we've got to get that on there without breaking it. So, over we go. And there we are. Now, we get all our icing on there. And once we get it on, we're going to tease it out to the edges with our palette knife. So, just leave that to work its magic. It'll do it itself. Just give it time. Okay, that's that done. And then we're going to put our cherries. And then we're going to get our toasted flaked almonds, and we're just going to spread them around the middle. Okay, you guys, and that is our Cherry Bakewell cake. I hope you like it. We're going to put some candles in it tomorrow and we'll take a photograph of it from the inside. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Maximilian. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Scooter, happy birthday to Maximilian.
Thank you.
It looks delicious.
It does.
Show all the viewers.
It looks lovely.
두 눈을 감아 가만히 더 느껴봐 기분 좋은 긴장감 내게 말해줘 tonight 널 알고 싶어